Hey everyone, Dan here. We are after close on Tuesday, March 9th, and wanted to go over eyes, which has been on a tear the last couple of days, but especially in the pre-market today, which is what you see here. I took a position in eyes today, and before the end of the day, I trimmed off some of it because I was happy with locking in some of the gains that I had. But I still have left the remainder of my position. So I wanted to share with you all what I'm seeing and sort of, if it helps anyone, cool. I drew this sometime around, this area today. Someone tweeted at me wondering what my thoughts on eyes were, and I had recalled that I had seen it in the pre-market and then had forgotten to look back at it. I was watching Palantir really close this morning. So I took a look at it and drew up the chart and sent it to them, and that's when I decided to take a position shortly after that. So what I had said at that time was, you should expect really strong support at this 1293 level. And, at that point, I didn't know if it was going to fall through and get caught by that level or prior to that level or not. But the reason for the strength at 1293 is basically like that's where the uptrend that started in the pre-market this morning, that's where that really gained strength. So it started its uptick and it hit that as a resistance point, and then it sort of confirmed it as a resistance point, and then it hit it as a resistance point again, and then it gained that as the support level in this fourth candle here, and then it took off and it never turned back. So that's where the strength is coming from in my estimate. Also back here, you'll see it tried to make a run up to that level and it hit it as resistance there and fell off and then made a slow approach back to it. So I think that is the really strong level to be looking at, 1293. At that time, what I had said was, if it does fall through 1293, the other thing to look at is if it's coming into this white box, which is just below 12, it's like 1185 to 1160. I said it might be coming in to fill this gap. It doesn't look like that's what's happening at this point. I feel better if we get to the open tomorrow and it hasn't come down to that level. But even if it does, I don't think it would continue to fall. I think it would pop back up. But, you never know if you have the stomach to hold through those kinds of things. So, so main support there, 1293. Worst case scenario, 1160 to 1180. And then, there's these additional levels that I drew in, these price targets, 1437, which as you saw, gained support, and then it tried to test that 1581 level and got knocked off of it. So right now it's seeing if it can hold this 1437 as support. Hopefully it can, if you see it moving there in the after hours. This is the 5-minute chart, so it's not going completely nutty. I find the 5-minute chart can be quite zen sometimes, especially when stocks are very volatile or have a lot of volume in any given day. One thing to obviously take note of is this sort of quadruple top here, topped out with the candlesticks in this scenario, topped out with the wicks in that scenario. So that's going to be a very tough spot to get over, but that's just indicative of it being a tough area for the price to establish 1581 as support. Like that's the same situation occurring. So if we can get over that and start to push up against 1722, that's supported by all of these levels here. That's supported as a push-off zone or a catch zone from here. And then up to 1836. This zone, and this zone all supporting that. What I had said this morning when I sent it out was, I think this has been like quite a large retracement, but I think it's actually showing some bullish signs. And at that point I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the bulls win this one if the price of eyes settles in this purple box. So this is, just call it 20 up to the high 21s. So that's still what I'm looking at. That's why I kept some of my position and just trimmed off some of it to lock in some profits. But I'm looking for more of that $20 upside. If things go well tomorrow and we tick up through these price targets, the say high 15s to 17 to 18, I'll probably trim some out as we go along because you never know this can have, obviously, as quickly as it can run up, it can sell off. So, you know, I think as like one thing to consider when you see these charts with the price targets is those might be areas to lock in some of your profit. This is the advantage to buying multiple shares, so that you can, if you buy 50 shares, you could have sold 10 of them just to lock in some profits today. And then, if you wanted to, you could sell 10 at this level, 10 at this level, 10 at this level, and then you'd still have 10 to ride up to this level if you wanted. So something to consider. You don't have to get all in and all out in 2 transactions. There can be several transactions that as you sort of like trim out, and it can be a good way to manage your risk to reward ratio. All right, so this is what I'm seeing for eyes. Good luck if you're in it. I know a lot of you are. And if you take a position tomorrow, it'll be interesting to see what happens. So in any case, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a ton. And I'll see you all in the next video.